Lisa, and you're watching Talk of the Town on B4U. Thank you so much for tuning into our last week's segment. It's so great to have your support. Please continue twittering us at @theofficialB4U. We're here in beautiful Studio City, California to update you on our latest movers and shakers in our Hollywood and Bollywood film industry here in Los Angeles. One of our very first guests is a very prominent director, Babu Subramanian, who directed big hit TV shows such as ER, Outsourced, and Star Trek. Let's go chat with Babu.
I worked on ER starting in '94. We did the pilot in '94. The series was launched in '95. And I got my first shot at directing in '99. So I realized where my weaknesses were once I got an opportunity to direct, and I went back and started working on those skills, especially working with actors. I did a play, which was a big help. And even till today, I like to take, I did a workshop with Adrian Weiss called Acting for Writers and Directors. It was a really good workshop, and that taught me a lot. And, you know, it's a constant process of getting better at working with actors. Well, I all started with working with Mahesh. You know, Mahesh was like a friend, right? And Mahesh's dad was a director. And the friend situation kind of like then transitioned to I became an assistant to him. So it was weird, and this happens a lot in Bollywood. So I came to New York, I was trying to find work, you know, I had visa issues and all kinds of other issues that you kind of like, you know, there are all these hurdles that you, but I was obsessed, you know, I was like really obsessed about wanting to get to where I wanted to get to. Passion. Yeah, you got to be, any craft in this business requires passion. And for a director, I think the job of the director really is you got to know what everybody else's job is. And Elia Kazan comes to mind when you talk about, you know, I mean, you as a director, when you walk on the set, you got to, I mean, like, you got to know everything that there is to know about the people that you're working with, especially the actors. I mean, like when I prepare for a movie, or a television episode, I go online and I go find out who these actors are, where do they come from. I make these small 3x5 cards and I have it with them so that, and I know like if there's a certain actor, I know that he's like I just did Memphis Beat with Jason Lee, and I know I found out that Jason Lee was a great skateboarder. You know, and he had his skateboard company. So there you are working on the set, you know, and suddenly in a conversation, you know a little bit more about Jason Lee than he does about you.
So you're always a step ahead.
Exactly. You got to stay ahead of the game,
yeah.
and just totally be prepared when you walk onto the set, and always have a plan B and a plan C. If I don't get an assignment to direct, I work as a first assistant director because I need to stay connected,
yeah.
You know, and I need to stay working. Yeah. But I've become like I'm a little bit more sought after because I've already directed episodes. So people want first assistant directors that have experience as a director because it helps the company get the director's job done easier. So I go back and forth just to be able to stay alive in the business. I worked with a director called Tony Bill many years ago, and Tony, you know, is a very well-known producer, director, actor. You know, he's an old-time actor, then became a producer, director. He produced Taxi Driver and a lot of big movies. And he would say, Babs, if you want to direct, the challenge is how to learn to stay out of the way. You know, when you come into this town, whether it's LA or New York, and you want to work in the entertainment business, you're an actor, you're a cameraman, you're a producer, you know, and everybody wants to work in the business. But the business is such a closed shop. I mean, everything is unionized, and they make it very, very difficult for you to break in. Like there's a rule here. Like if you, I mean, actors, I think it's a little easier now. I mean, you can still, if you work as an extra on a SAG voucher for 3 days, you become SAG eligible. And I've helped a lot of actors like that. And also try and get an agent and a manager. There's a whole process, but these kinds of hurdles will always exist. So I go back to the passion factor. There's always a way. You have to kind of like really focus yourself on who are the people that are going to open the door for you. Identify those people, and then you strategize. Strategize with emails, phone calls, and dropping in. It's a ritual.
Stay connected.
Stay connected, but be also be aware that you never want to cross a line.
Right.
It's a very, very delicate line. You don't have to be too pushy. It was a fun experience. I mean, what else can you ask for? I got paid to create the city where I came from in Studio City. I mean, and that was like a privilege. It was a real privilege. If you want to break in as a director, I would say, direct some shorts, keep making shorts. I mean, the work in this town for directors, whether you're a writer, director, actor, any area of the business is in television. So focus on television. If you are a writer, you write spec scripts for television. If you're a director, it's a little tricky because people that direct in episodic television, either you've done a short, then done a feature, and then you go do an HBO show. Because cable normally is looking for indie film directors to direct episodes. And HBO is a classic example of that. It's just an obsessive level of passion and a desire to tell good stories is what drives that.
Wow, Babu's definitely an impressive director. Now let's look at someone just as impressive. Film producer Prashant Shah. Prashant Shah is currently based out of Hollywood and is responsible for the major films such as Kites, My Name is Khan, and now the blockbuster Raw 1. Let's look at Prashant Shah.
After age 19, I moved out from the industry and got into the corporate world. Lived in Africa for a few years, lived in London for a few years, and realized that my passion and dream was always to work in Hollywood. Doesn't matter whether it's you're in Hollywood or you're in Bollywood. It doesn't matter which film industry, whether it's in Nigeria or in New York or in Los Angeles, whether it is in Poly Hill or whether it is in Beverly Hills, the struggle is the same, and the crunching of your time and trying to focus into the market of entertainment world is not as easy or as simple. And in this world, it's not how much of education or what PhD you have and how many degrees you have qualified with or how many people you know with, but it's all about your zealot and your energy that you have to focus into this industry. And that was my first hands-on experience working in USA onto the film industry. And it was quite a challenge in the city of New York to shoot for 15 days with Dev Anand, his first film in the US, my first film working and trying to make my dream come true. And we did it. So it was a very organic way of filmmaking. But I can say this today that that was the best PhD I had. That was actually my master's of engineering into filmmaking that I learned from a legend like him. And he had the support that he gave me, and he entrusted in everything that I did. So I was not only a production designer, not only his driver, not only his line producer, but also giving him creative ideas on choreography that I had no idea what to do. And we would just decide on the set, and I would tell him, Dave, what is the scene for today? What are we shooting? And he would say, don't worry, let's get to the location, we'll figure out what we are shooting. So it was an amazing way of filmmaking.
Hey guys, it's time for a quick break, but don't go away, we'll be right back.